going down, everybody's fat track today? Man, I've been waiting for this day for a long time to do this Pro Tools MPC track out video, how I track my beats out. And this is how I've been doing it for many years. I've been using this template for many years, to track my beats out. I just changed the title of the, the tracks and make them whether they need to be stereo or mono. I'm going to be tracking out a beat that I made with my twin brother Bradley's band. Shout out to you. And our boy Joe Huntington back in like 2016, we made this beat. Ended up sampling him play the guitar. We were actually in Hawaii. We were chilling on the beach, and he ended up playing this riff to the beat that I had, and it was crazy. I had the beat playing, and then he ended up catching it, stopped playing the beat, kept going, hey, keep playing, Joe, keep playing, and ended up catching that riff. I recorded it off the cell phone, came back home. My twin brother ended up loading up his electric guitar setup, and you're gonna hear this beat that we just did long time ago on the 2500. And besides that, y'all, I got something that I've been waiting for a long time. I'm actually releasing my store. Not only can you pick up equipment from Zounds, make sure you do if you need any newer music equipment, but I have my own store connected to YouTube. I'm selling this Pro Tools template that I'm using. I'm also selling my drum kits. The kick and the rim shot within this beat will be in that drum kit. There's over 100 plus drum sounds in there that are fat and warm. And I have merch. I have check it out, the Digging with Strangers official hoodie. It says producer on the left sleeve. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I have that. I have the 1631 brand connected to that. If you want to get any 1631 brand Saved by Grace hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeves, those are all connected, as well as my albums. And I'm also doing one-on-one consultations. So check out that site. Make sure you cop something. Follow me in this journey. You're going to learn something new. And if you have not checked out the syncing your MPC with Pro Tools, make sure you check that video out first. It'll be above. Check that one out first so you know where we're going with this, and it'll catch you up to speed, as well as the hidden gems with the MPC and JJOS 1 through 4. I highly recommend checking those out so that you can be caught up to where we're at this point. It'll be worth your while. All those videos will be linked above and in the description. So, yep, let's get into tracking out. This right here is my analog setup. I have a BAE 73 MPL, the red knob. Really love these mic pre's. I have the API Select SV14 EQs. They're very musical. I already have it dialed in for this beat. And then I'm using the BC 501 by TK Audio for my compressor, running into the Apollo. And as you can see, my preamp is, pretty low. And then if I push play on the beat, get a feel for what it sounds like with it all in. Yep. And if you notice the console, we're at -3, around that area, -3. Maybe the left side is going up a tad bit. I can turn that down. Matter of fact, I might turn that down real quick. Just a tad bit. So I'm gonna go out from the analog gear into Pro Tools, and I believe that keeping it dry, I'm not even using any inserts within this. I don't really need to. The analog gear has me covered. Shout out to EA Ski for all that advice and advocating towards the analog gear. 1000% makes your sound full and warm, fat and heavy. You know what I mean? So let me go ahead and open up Pro Tools, and I'm on Pro Tools 11.3. I never upgraded. As you can see right here, you're gonna see my fat track out template. This right here is for sale on my website. Make sure that my session's at 16-bit, interleave, 44.1, and then I'm gonna hit OK. My location, I always save it to, you know, a hard drive. So we're gonna title this beat Island Style. Check out. Save. And the first thing that I do is here, I'll change the beats per minute. So I have to check out the beat machine, and it says 64.2. And right now, I'm in one of my favorite screens utilizing JJOS, and I'm in my drum kits, and I know that my kick is on pad A8. So instead of going out stereo, I unplugged it. I'm gonna switch it to out 1. Here's a kick, nothing else. Everything else is going out stereo that I'm hitting in pad bank A, except the kick. And then I know the rim shot is on B4, so I'm gonna send this one out to number 2. Right, so then all I have to do now is I'm gonna go into mode, song mode, and then you can actually take a look at my Pro Tools template right here. Super dope. I track everything out right here to, you know, the stereo bounce. I don't go file bounce. I actually, you know, record it from my track out down here. I know I'm going kind of fast, but I record it up here. I do a beat version. I might do the song version and the show version, then export it. But we'll go through that one as soon as this beat's tracked out. I do have my music. This is where I put all my, you know, this is that music track where I put, you know, all the bells and whistles. I put my sample on a track, anything extra I want to, you know, in the music, like the sprinkles on top, drums, obviously, my 808 and my bass line, and the vocals. So right here below, I have my drums. So I have my kick, snare, hi-hat, and a shaker. It should coincide with my titles in the MPC. Yeah, you can see right there, I have the kick, the snare, the hi-hat, the shaker, or the rim shot in the MPC, Joe's guitar, the bass. And then if I go to my live tracks, you'll see I have the riff stack, the riffy, electric guitar, and electric vibe. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna arm the kick and the snare. And I have my input coming in 1 and 2, and my outs from the MPC is in 1 and 2, going out of 1 and 2 into the analog gear, into the Apollo dry. So I'll go back to song mode. The track is armed, and when I'm recording, I like to have Pro Tools in front, and then I like to have my console in the back right here, just to see if there's any clips, especially when I'm recording. But I can also see a better version of how the audio is coming in, whether I'm -3, -6 dB. I like to stay within those two ranges up here. But yeah, around that, you know, so just as long as I'm not peaking, go ahead and hit record, play start in Pro Tools, and here we go. You should start seeing the MPC going. Yep, and now you see it in Pro Tools. So this is how I track my beats out. I like to format all of my songs, you know, in the MPC. So when I'm in Pro Tools, it makes it easier. And I might go in and shave out some other stuff too. I might go in and actually shave out the, you know, make more drops if I need to, stuff like that. But you can see the whole minute. We're knocking out 2 tracks at a time, you know, from this analog gear going into the Apollo. I have a Personas Studio Live, which is really dope. And, you know, I was able to go all of my 8 outs at one time, get all my levels right, come in 8 outs, you know, connected to Firewire. I was using that for a long time, but I really enjoy this analog gear, and I like the Apollo's sound as well. Yeah, so that right there, that is done. So now, go ahead and truncate that, and we are going to get the hi-hat and the shaker going. So I'm coming in interface 1 and 2 for the shaker. So yeah, let's go ahead and go find those. I'm gonna turn the kick and the rim shot off. Those are laid down in Pro Tools, you know, on the drum track. And yeah, here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and send the shaker and the hi-hat out. Let me get that going. Here's a tip that I'll give you within this video. Thank you for watching this far. So I don't know where this hi-hat lands right now without hearing it, but the best way I can tell you to get there is if you hit mode and you go to where it says step edit, it'll tell you right there, C8. So all I have to do is go there to C8, and that's where my hi-hat will be. And then if I go to my shaker, mode, step edit, right there, A2. So C8 and A2. I'm gonna send the hi-hat out 1 and then the shaker out 2. Remember that my kick was going out at 1, so I'm gonna turn that back to stereo, and then B4 was my rim shot, so I need to turn that back to stereo. The shaker, we're gonna go out, let me see, on Pro Tools 2, and you should see in Pro Tools, yep, the shaker's coming in. And then our hi-hat, what was our hi-hat on? C8, we're in bank C, right? And then we need to go to pad 8, take it from stereo, we're gonna turn it out to 1. So now, right, we should have, when we hit play in Pro Tools, record, play, start, and we should be laying down our shaker and our hi-hat. Yep. And you know, the reason why I like doing it in song mode is because, you know, it just makes it easier for me. I can formulate an intro. I mean, you can do it. You can track out, you know, just a straight up sequence and copy and paste it for 2 minutes and go in and shave it that way. I've done that before in the past where, you know, I've done that, but I like feeling more the vibe on the MPC and just really, you know, like hitting those pads when I need to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll make sure that that's done on the MPC. And it's going. You know, I'll go all the way to the end and make sure that I know I cut the kick and snare off, but I knew that I didn't have that in there during the beat. And we're done. So we're at the end of the song. So the hi-hat and the shaker's out, tracked in. And up next is the guitar. And if you notice here on my Pro Tools, this bass is a stereo sample. I actually sampled it off a stereo, and that's why I'm going to track that out as a stereo sound. You could do obviously a mono as bass, but since I sampled it from a record, you know, I kept the left and right, get that bottom in there. You know, you don't have to, but I just did for this beat. And I'm gonna keep it that way, tracking it in, you know, so whatever I have, anything mono coming into the beat machine, I keep it mono, obviously, and anything stereo, I keep it stereo. That's how I do it, at least. So we need to go turn off the hi-hat and the shaker. We're turning that off, we're sending it back to the stereo. Where was the shaker? Where was that at? That was on A2. Yeah, we need to turn that off. Turn it back on the stereo. So we already have the kick, the rim, the shaker, the hi-hat. We already got 4 tracked out. We're gonna go ahead and send Joe's guitar. That was on pad A3, 4. Joe's guitar. We are gonna hit this whole button right here in the JJOS, and we're gonna send it out 1. Joe's guitar is coming in. You can actually hear the wind. So dope. I recorded that with my my iPhone 6 at the time. Yep. Almost to the end. Look at N2. That's it. So that right there will do it for all of our mono tracks. What I mean by mono tracks for me within this track out session is that those are the only ones I'm using the outs on. You know, I'm going to be using the stereo output coming up next for this bass line. And on JJOS, I totally spaced that anytime that you're having a live audio track, I can't really send it out. I don't know why there's no sound coming out of 1 and 2. However, since Joe's guitar's on track number 12, we need to turn that off of 1 and send it back to, actually, hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some knowledge in it for y'all. So everything else is on stereo. So Joe's guitar is on stereo. We're going to send that to 8. The drums, send it to 8. Every program, every sound should be sent over to 8. And yeah, because you don't want nothing coming in stereo. And that's where the live track, I need to go as well to every live track, which, you know, it's a tedious process, but it is what it is. I need to send that over to 8, 57, 58, 59, 60. I need to send them all over to 8. I don't want nothing coming in that stereo. And the sucky part is that you have to go back in and turn each one as you're going. That's the only pain in the neck with I wish it just did it, you know. And I guess you could say that if you just tracked it all out, you know, 4-bar and copy and pasted it from there, it'd be dope. But I still like the way I do it. You know, doing the recording the mutes that I want and getting that vibe. What I'm doing, I'm going through all of my sequences and make sure that we turn off everything over to 8. You don't gotta do 8. You can do 2, 1. I just so used to turning the wheel all the way to the right that it just goes to 8. You know, the most tedious part of tracking out for me is this part. Gotta send them all to 8. You don't want none of this stuff coming bleeding through your track. So we got one more sequence to send to 8. Cool. So now everything should be sent out to 8. Now we're back into our main out on the MP. The bass should be stereo, and that should be the only thing that we hear. Another tip that I have is that I have a main sequence that I copy everything off of. I don't touch the main sequence. You know, everything that I produce is in that main sequence. If I want to do a track mute, I'll copy and paste it to a different one, track mute it, you know, record that, lay it down. But everything that I keep in the main sequence, I usually title main sequence for, you know, the main one. That don't touch it, don't mess with it, because I can always go back, copy and paste it, come up with another idea, another overdub. So now we're gonna get the bass in right now, and then yeah, like I said, I sampled it off of stereo, and I'm gonna chop this part so I don't get copyright stricken, but I just did an interpolation of a song that I was inspired by. So yeah, it had my own take on it, the own Fat TrAk take on it. So I'm actually gonna delete this part. You might not even hear it coming in. Yup. Y'all might know the song too. You know what I mean? I was just inspired. I was in my island style reggae bag at the time. You know, I really was feeling that vibe. I still am. My twin brother and I might be doing a instrumental album called Sea Turtle. One of the dopest animals on earth. Sea turtle. Yeah, and the song's done. Cool. So now I didn't get this riff 1 going. We're gonna go ahead and record that joint in. And you know what? Now is a perfect time to save. So I haven't saved before. Usually I save all the time. That bass on the main, it needs to go to 8. Bye bye bass, you're out of here. When I go into my intro, remember I gotta go to 57. Everything that was live from these 1, 2, 3, 4, these 5 tracks. I know this electric GTO one I didn't use. I didn't use it throughout any of my intro, verse, whatever. But this riffy one, that's gotta go. You gotta go. Boom, put it on stereo. So now for the intro, we need to turn this verse riffy one to stereo. Man, I wish that the JJOS, I didn't even use sequence 6, but I wish JJOS would have just followed it like how it does in sequences. But you know what I mean? I can't complain. I'm so used to doing this, it don't even matter. Boom. So now we should just be having riffy coming in. And here we go. I know it says stereo, but it's gonna come in mono. That was the way it was recorded, but here it comes. My twin brother playing the electric on the what was it? The Fender. Recorded it on Fender. This right here is that vibe right now, you know what I mean? It's that vibe. Put you in the island style for. I know it's coming up on winter time, but you know, it's gonna be dope, man. Catch that vibe anytime, man. Take a flight, go to somewhere tropical. But look, we're still here, you know, -6 below unity gain, which is dope. Like, there's so much headroom, you know what I mean? Like, the analog gear really makes a big difference. So we're almost done with that. That's done. Riffy, we need to turn that to 8. Electric guitar, we're putting that on stereo. Now I like the colors of Pro Tools, it's so dope. I believe the electric guitar was coming out of for the hook. That's what I want to say. That one came in on was the hook. Brings you back. I ain't telling you no lie. Yep. Told you. It's coming in for the hook. The next track we're gonna do is the electric vibe. So we'll turn that off, turn that on. We're just gonna follow it, you know what I mean? I think that is all she wrote on that one. Matter of fact, I know that's all she wrote on that one. So the next track that we're gonna do is the electric vibe. Make sure we started from the top, 0, 0. Here we go. It's all smooth sailing from here, y'all. You know, we only have 2 more tracks to track out, and then, you know, we can check it out on Pro Tools. So I believe this is part of the hook as well, but I won't forward it to the hook. You know, I just keep it going the way it is. But I will, like right now, I can shave off that right there. You know what I'm saying? All that extra noise that we don't want. You know, when I'm working, this is how I normally do when I'm in the studio. It's just another vibe stack. I know it sounds the same, but it's got different tones, and I thought it sounded good together. So did my twin brother, and that's the way that we did it. You know? Like, can't complain about recording live tracks, man. I've been recording live tracks for years, man. On this JJOS and the 2500. It's so dope, man. It's one of the dopest things that you could do. You know. So yeah, as we're going in, this is what I'm doing. I'm just shaving off shaving it off so everything looks clean, and it's done. We are done. Same thing, y'all. We need to save. We're gonna turn off the electric vibe. We're gonna turn that to 8, and the riff stack, we're gonna put that on stereo. So riff stack goes to stereo, electric vibe goes to 8. I know I'm moving kind of fast, but you know, I hope y'all can catch what's going down with it. 8. Electric vibe is on 8. Alright, cool. I'm gonna make sure I'm on the riff stack. So intro, boom, song mode. Here we go. So we're on the riff stack. So I'm gonna arm that track into Pro Tools, and let's get him going. I believe the riff stack or the riff comes in on the intro part, from what I remember. I'm gonna leave this here so I know that that's where the song ends on the Pro Tools. Yeah. I'm vibing, y'all. Oh man, it came in with the clip. Do you see that right there? Left side right here. Left side, clip side. Boom, that ain't good. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and stop that automatically. And I'm glad that we caught that there, so now you can see what I'm saying. It's coming in once, so I'm gonna actually turn the trim down a tad bit. You know, turn down that gain. I won't touch the red knob, but let's check it out one more time to see if we got some good sound coming in. You don't want to record clipping. Yeah, now that looks like a good level, right? See what I'm saying over here? You can gauge it. You can gauge the clipping. You don't want nothing clipping. You can't turn trash into gold. And, you know, that final recording, man, you want to make sure that everything is coming in good. Can't record. I don't record with no effects neither. No limiter, no nothing. Like, you know, all that stuff goes on at the end for me. Yep, so that's that right there. And we're at the end of the song. Now we got the last track that we have to get in. So you have to go back into the MPC again, JJOS, and yes, the riff stack. You're going over to number 8. The riff, you're coming into stereo, and I can tell right there. See, that's how I'm looking at it. And the track mute, you started off with the riff one, the electric guitar, electric vibe, the riff stack. Now we're at the riff, and you can see it in Pro Tools. So last track, y'all, song mode. You got the drift on you know, putting everything on stereo, going out 8. I believe this one comes in during the hook. The last track, I believe it comes in during the hook, and it comes in maybe at the end from the last time that I formatted it. Yep. A little bit of that spice on top, you know. I was watching Quincy Jones and him stacking, so dope. You know, stacking the vocals, same concept. You know, I stack drums, I stack, you know, as you can see right here, electric guitars on top of each other. You know, it's just about mixing it right, you know, and getting those right tones that you want, you know, and blending it. So, yeah. I mean, you don't have to stack everything, but I like doing it. As long as it come out sounding good, you're good. That's just my opinion. Alright, so that's the end of the song, y'all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save, obviously, and this is how the beat was formulated in the MPC. This is how I did it. So I'm going to hit Alt and unmute everything, and I am going to turn off my MIDI beat clock so I don't trigger the MPC. Everything that is tracked out down here, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna actually go into my MIDI studio, turn that off. I went into the beat clock and I turned it off, so when you hit play in Pro Tools, nothing, you know, triggers, nothing plays. So that right down here is the finished tracked out version. Then what I'll do is I'll create, like, I don't know, 10 audio tracks or 4 for the vocalist, you know. Then I'll send over their vocals over here to where it says Vox, you know, so for vocal. But you know, that's how I track out my beats. And then what I will do is I will arm this track up here at the top, and then I will print that. You know, instead of going file bounce, I don't do file bounce. I go, you know, up here to the top and actually print it to the actual Pro Tools. So you're hearing everything down below, you know. Not too bad, you know. That's how I track out my beats, everybody, from the MPC into the Pro Tools. Man, I've been using Pro Tools for so long, you know, I've never upgraded. I don't know, I just think someone, when I upgraded that, all my VSTs and everything that I got won't work. I don't want to do that, you know what I mean? And plus I own it. Like, I've been owning Pro Tools 11 and 10 for so long that, you know, it works for me. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, I got the same laptop I've been using ever since with it. And I just use it strictly for music, strictly for Pro Tools. Yeah. So that right there is the beat. And then what I will do is I will retitle it to, what we title it? Island Style, right? Island Style or Island Vibe. Let me see. Yeah, Island Style. Boom. Oop, and I misspelled it, but y'all get the picture. Then what I'll do is I'll just, you know, Command Shift K this joint, send it out, bounce it out. You know, it's sent out as a wave. You can create it as an MP3. So there you have it, everybody. That's how I track out my beats. The most important thing that you need to do is make sure that the titles in your MPC match the titles in Pro Tools. You know, so if you ever run into that issue with JJOS when you're sending something out to out one, you know, or stereo out, that you know, you stay organized. Okay, that track already got tracked out. That one's turned off. Let me turn this one on. Let me send that one out to 1 or 2 or to the stereo. You know, that's the only thing I wish JJOS did was on the live tracks was follow the, if I turn one live track off, it follows it just like how you would in a program. If I turn off the program, then it, you know, or turn on, you know, a sound on a program, it'll follow it. But, you know, it is what it is. I've gotten so quick utilizing that technique in tracking out, and I've utilized this template for ever since I've had Pro Tools 10, you know, Pro Tools 10, 11, and, you know, it's just been like riding a bike, you know, just hopping on JJOS, hopping on a 2500, and I believe that this, you know, tracking out does go into the older MPCs as well. I haven't tried the 3000 or the 60, but I do use the 4000, and I have done that with the ASR 10 as well as the 2000 XL. So, you know, this template works, y'all. You know, it's tried true. I use it on a daily whenever I'm doing my music. And I just want to say, I hope that this tutorial helped you to learn something. You know, and if you have not caught up to speed, if everything is over your head on this video, you have to go back and check out those syncing your Pro Tools with the MPC. I made a video on that. I put it up above again, and it should be up above in the beginning. And then I also have the hidden gems with JJOS and the 2500. Check out those 1 through 4. They're really short videos, but that'll catch you up to speed on where I went with this video in tracking out with the MPC and Pro Tools. So God bless everybody. Thank you for checking out the store. You know, make sure you smash that like and subscribe, and you know, be on the lookout for more Digging with Strangers, more tutorials, more to come, and God bless everybody. Peace.